Hey guys, Levelcap here. Today we're going to be taking an updated look at Rising Storm 2. This is a highly realistic Vietnam era shooter that also focuses the combat in a fast and furious way. So despite weapons being realistic, damage models being incredibly fast, it also focuses the combat with sort of rush-like game modes, and it's an excellent game, I gotta say. I enjoyed it 10 months ago when I played the closed beta, and I'm enjoying it even more now that the game has been further refined and has a substantial modding community behind it. In addition to that, the game is on the best sale it's ever been at chrono.gg/levelcap. I'll put a link to that in the video description. It's on sale for $10, which is 66% off the retail price. Incredibly good sale. If you're in the mood for a really high quality Vietnam era shooter, I highly recommend picking this one up. The game runs on the Unreal Engine, has excellent particle effects, really adding to the theater of war and the ambiance and the feeling of the game. The maps and locations that you fight in give you a pretty big variety of combat, whether it's open rice paddies or dense jungle or river type areas. You get a pretty big variety of sort of the Vietnam theater of war. The devs have done an excellent job. And what's even cooler is that the most popular game modes are sort of objective push-based game modes, sort of similar to Battlefield's Rush, and the maps change pretty significantly as you move across the map as the attacking team pushes the defending team back. And I gotta say, it's just a beautiful looking game and a really fun game to play. And although you can just skim the surface of this game, which admittedly is what I've been doing so far, just hopping in with some basic classes and shooting at enemies, you can also take over more leadership roles of squad leaders and doing important things like being a mobile spawn beacon for your squad mates, or calling in artillery strikes, and doing more important things that can actually make a huge difference on your team's ability to push up. So there is quite a lot of strategy involved with this game, and a lot of teamwork and communication needs to be had if you're going to have success. Now, the map I'm playing here is actually a user-created map. What's cool is that the developers, because they started off as modders, really support the modding community and had a $40,000 modding prize for someone to create the best map for this game. And so this actually isn't even the first place map for it, but it's just neat that I was able to get into these modded maps just by joining a server, and any sort of modded tools or something download. Oh yeah, there's vehicles in the game too. I did show off a little bit of vehicle combat in terms of being in the helicopters in my first video, but I didn't get into the choppers this time around. They are quite difficult to fly. They certainly fly more realistically than sort of the more arcadey games out there. Really, Battlefield's the only thing I can draw a parallel to in terms of chopper physics and chopper mechanics. This game has much more realistic mechanics, so if you like piloting, you got a good joystick or something like that, you might actually really enjoy the piloting aspect of this game, although air vehicles are not on every map. The game also features a fairly in-depth progression system, allowing you to rank up every single class in the game, and the ranks allow you to unlock new cosmetic items for those classes, giving them a little bit of visual flair, or maybe even giving them some more camo so that they can blend in a little bit better. But you can also unlock different variations for your kit to give them a few more weapon options. And I gotta say, creeping around in the bush here is something that I haven't really experienced much of since, I would say, the original Battlefield Vietnam game, not the Bad Company mod, which didn't offer quite as thick of jungle environments, but the original Battlefield Vietnam that had a lot of city and jungle environments kind of gave me a similar experience. Although that game is so old and dated at this point, this game takes it to the next level where you really can blend in and has that highly realistic approach to it. Again, it's not so realistic that it's going to take away from the game experience by removing UI completely or anything like that. You don't get hit markers in this game, but you will hear like a headshot sound effect if you hit another player in the helmet or something like that. So it's got a few audio indicators and stuff. The kill feed can be delayed, so basically if you shoot and kill somebody, you won't notice it on the kill feed right away. You'll see it a little bit later. which does make editing through footage to get confirmed kills a little bit more annoying, but in terms of gameplay, it's kind of a cool mechanic where you really do have to look and see, did I kill that guy? I think I killed that guy, and then if it pops up on the kill feed a little later, you're like, all right, I did actually get that guy. But it's an interesting sort of hybrid game in that it really wants to use all the sort of realistic mechanics of reduced UI or reduced UI information, but it's still there just for the fact of confirming kills for our players and the enjoyment factor. So I think they do a really good job of balancing UI and realism. Now, like other shooters out there, this game is heavily dependent on map knowledge. So you could bring all your first-person shooter skills over to Rising Storm 2 and they'll get you so far. In fact, I was topping the scoreboard most of the games I played in terms of kills, but the map knowledge is really so important. Knowing the camp spots, the good spots to try and push up and take cover, or the weird little ledges or bushes that people can shoot you from, that is really, really important. And you're not going to know it right away when you get into the game, and it might be frustrating for you. I recommend following teammates around. There's usually enough experienced players that have a good idea of where to push up and where to go. That'll get you so far. Also, the maps often on the sort of push objective based maps, if you can defend before you attack, the defensive positions will teach you how to learn where the defenders are going to be camping and stuff, so that offensive is a little bit less punishing. So if you have the option to defend first, I recommend that in terms of map knowledge. Also, if you get into the game early and have an opportunity to select a class other than the standard rifleman, I suggest you go for it because it is fun to experiment around with the different kits that can provide different tools on the battlefield. Standard rifleman is fine if you don't want to be responsible for any of the higher level tactics, but integrating like smoke grenades and artillery strikes or grenade launchers or RPGs, that kind of stuff in your gameplay is certainly a fun way to spice it up. So I recommend trying to get those kits whenever possible. Anyway, again, this game is on an amazing sale today, so if you want to check it out, go to chrono.gg/levelcap. The link for that is in the video description. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Levelcap, signing off.